Morning. I love this. This is a continuation of something that was born out of Boulevard last year. It's a continuation of Terry Pratchett. You're bringing the Discworld to life. Adam, I'm going to start with you because I think it's thanks to you that we have this wonderful adventure happening.
Yeah. So I sort of twisted Drew's arm last year. I've been desperate to do a Terry Pratchett play. I've done one before many years ago with Clarbston Road. I grew up with Terry Pratchett. He was always my favourite author as a kid and sort of growing up. And I discovered a few years ago that most of his books have been turned into plays by Stephen Briggs, who was a good friend of Terry Pratchett. Got Drew to say yes, and we put Wyrd Sisters on in autumn last year, which was it was amazing, such a success. We've sold out the full run. We are back in Discworld.
I love that. And just a note on that sellout run, there's really not many tickets left for this one, is there?
No. The Saturday is very close to sold out. There's a few more tickets for Thursday and Friday, but they've been flying out this last week. So we should be on for another good one.
It's very exciting. We'll come back to you, Adam, and talk about how you're going to be portraying this show in just a second. But first, we'll look back at some of the returners, those that were in Wyrd Sisters and are coming back. Ellen, am I right in saying that this is your return?
It is my return, yes. So Wyrd Sisters was the first time I'd ever done anything on stage, unless you count doing Oliver Twist in year 6, which I don't. And it's incredible. I love Terry Pratchett as well. I'm only now reading the books for the first time, so I'm only about on book 17 of 40 odd, so I've still got a long way to go. But I became a fan instantly, and when I heard that Adam was going to be doing Wyrd Sisters, I jumped at the chance. Didn't think I was going to get anything major because I was a new kid on the block, and ended up getting one of the main parts, which was incredible. And to then return to the Discworld again with Adam and a lot of the returners has just been incredible. It's such a good laugh.
I love that. So explain to those who might not be familiar with the Discworld and Terry Pratchett, what are the similarities between Wyrd Sisters and Men at Arms and the character that you're going to be portraying?
Between my characters from Wyrd Sisters and Men at Arms, I would say, are pretty much polar opposites. My character in Wyrd Sisters, she was quite a young, naive witch who was trying to find her place in the witchhood. Whereas my character here in Men at Arms, her name is Lance Constable Angwer. She is very confident, knows her mind. So they're complete polar opposites. So trying to get the change sorted was a bit of a challenge, but I think we've got there now.
I love that. I love the fact that you're being challenged in that way of being able to play these different characters. Lee, you're also returning to Terry Pratchett's stage. How are you feeling about the coming back?
Yeah, really excited, to be honest. Before doing the first one, I was very much the opposite of Adam and Ellen, in the sense that I hadn't actually even heard of Terry Pratchett, if I'm being perfectly honest. Let alone having read any of the books, which I've read a couple now to try and sort of like get myself a little bit into the swing of it. But I felt it was quite nice, really, when you go into a show and you don't actually know anything about it. It almost frees you up a little bit to just kind of throw yourself straight into whatever. So I feel it can work as an advantage sometimes not to actually know about the show beforehand. But yeah, having done a first one, to come back now and do a second, you understand like the general idea of the themes and what they're going for, and then it's just a matter of changing around your character and sort of building up that different personality then. So
I love that. There is a sense of freedom, isn't there, where you get to explore the character, not necessarily the text in that kind of way, isn't there? So you have a bit more fun with the play there. And I'm just going to put on this camera over here. Let's have a look, because another returner to the stage has just come into the studio. Hello.
Better late than never. Good morning.
Good morning. You're going to be back on stage. We've just been hearing from Adam, who's introduced it to us, Ellen, who's returning but with a different character role, Lee, who knew nothing about Terry Pratchett before exploring the text, Ross, you're also returning to the stage. You were in Wyrd Sisters, and from what I remember, you loved that role. You got to throw yourself 150,000% into it. What's the transition from Wyrd Sisters to Men at Arms been like?
I mean, in terms of character, it's absolutely night and day. I've come from a sort of a pantomime-esque Joker buffoon into a very sort of rough and gritty soldier, which is a very stark contrast. But it's been quite fun to sort of explore that sort of like those polar opposites. And it's, just expand that sort of, diversity almost in terms of acting skills. It's nice to be able to sort of portray two complete opposite ends of the spectrum.
Yeah. Adam, I'm going to have to come back to you here. You've cast everyone as opposites to how they were cast before. Was this a deliberate choice?
Honestly, no. But with Vision, like there's so much talent in the room every time you audition for a show. Like these guys are just very good. Honestly, we read for it. We got everyone to try, a good few different characters. Ross is just one of the best comic actors that I've ever met. And the part that he's playing, there we go. The part that he's playing in this Nobby Knobs, he's such a fan favorite to anyone who knows anything about Discworld. He's everyone's favorite character. Ross just read it beautifully, so he does a really good job there. And Ellen just stepped up to the plate, and Angua, like she said, completely opposite character, but she just got it really quickly. So everyone in the room did an amazing job, and we've got the perfect cast. It's great.
I love that. It makes me even more excited about what's in store this weekend. But of course, it's not all about the returners. We've got a brand new face going to be donning the stage as well. Good morning, Jack.
Hello.
Jack, why did you put yourself in for the audition in the first place? What is it about getting on stage, and in particular about Terry Pratchett, that got you excited?
So I've always wanted to do drama, but I've never really had the opportunity. And I joined Vision last year to film their productions. But this year I wanted to be more than the film guy. And when I saw that Men at Arms was being the film, I was like, ooh, I'll give that a go. And that brings us to now.
Amazing. And how did you find the whole process? Usually you turn up when it's already been cast, and then you see the inner workings behind the door, and then you see them take it to stage for the first time. What's it been like being actually part of that process?
If it's been so much fun. Like I feel very involved, and everyone's very welcoming and nice, and it's just been a joy, and it's been really fun.
Brilliant. Gina?
Well, what I'm taking from this morning is that everybody seems to be taking on a totally different role from the actors on stage, and Jack there, who was behind the scenes and now actually on the stage. So I am loving the perspective of everybody that's going to be in this show, and I know that it is going to be incredible, just like all the Vision and Boulevard theatre shows are. So very, very excited about hearing more.
Yeah, and Adam, I'm going to come back to you. The wonderful thing about literature is that when we read the book, we all get to imagine the show, like we get to imagine the story unfolding in our world and our vision. But now the book's been taken and put into a script, and now that script has gone through your brain and you're taking it to the stage. What interpretation are you having on this text?
So, very, very briefly about the story. So Men at Arms is it's like a police procedural whodunit. So we follow Captain Vimes and the City Watch as they try and solve a crime. The only gun that's ever been created on the Discworld, has been stolen for nefarious reasons. So when I started reading it, I started thinking, like, what does this look like on the stage? And there was a game back in like the 90s called Discworld Noir, which was like in Ankh-Morpork, the city, it was like a film noir style, kind of like quite gritty, but still very funny police procedural. So I thought, let's try and get that vibe on the stage. So we've gone for that with the music choices, some of the costume choices, and the way we've done the set design. We've gone for a bit of that kind of like dark, gritty film noir style backdrop to it. And it works really well. Like the comedy still sort of floats along the top of it really well, but the backdrop of it, it's got this kind of like moody atmosphere. And yeah, it's worked perfectly. Everyone's kind of along for the ride with that vision, and it's looking really great.
I can't wait. And it's show week this week, Ross. I'm going to bring you back in. Show week, you're back in the Boulevard Theatre. What have you found since? Have you been in the space yet yourself?
Yeah, we've been in the space, and it's a huge leap between being in that rehearsal room and, you know, being used to everything there, and then bringing it onto the stage. You know, so sometimes it just clicks, and sometimes you get those growing pains. And I think we've had, you know, our fair share of both. But that's, you know, it happens every show. You know, when you get from one space to another, it's like new land. You know, got to feel our way through it. And I think we've done that very well in the past couple of weeks. So, you know, we've definitely got a show in hand, and it's a great one at that. So get your tickets for this one.
Amazing. And then very quickly, Ellen, without giving too much away, what's one of your highlights of this show?
Honestly, the highlight is just being able to be back in the Discworld and being able to explore that again, especially when it's a completely different storyline to the original one, and then being able to see other people's interpretations of the books and the stories that I've already read, and it being a completely different interpretation, but also working very, very well. So yeah, my highlight is the whole thing.
I love that. And Lee, we're seeing a fraction of the cast there. A word on some of the other members that we're going to be seeing on stage.
Say again, sorry, Tom.
So you're only a fraction of the cast that are going to be bringing the Discworld to life. Give us an idea as to some of the other characters that are going to be bringing this show to life.
Oh, I mean, it's a complete range of characters, really. Like we've said, you've got sort of the comedic characters, you've got sort of the darker sort of characters, you've got the sort of bumbling idiot sort of character. You've got just a complete mix, really. So it's just a real sort of roller coaster of emotions all the way through.
I love that. And Jack, for you, what's one of the enduring? You haven't done the show week yet. What's one of your enduring memories that you're going to carry with you into future performance opportunities?
I think it's just being part of so like live, just experiencing it and just bringing a character to life. I think it's like great, and I love that.
Yeah, there's nothing quite like it. It's brilliant. We've had Aaron watching us. He's looking forward to hearing some wonderful voices on the stage, and he's saying break a leg, dearies. And also, Izzy, good morning, comrades at arms. Show week has arrived. It's a very exciting time. Adam, it is show week. There's a handful of tickets left. Why should we get tickets, these last remaining few, and how can we get those tickets?
So you can get the tickets from the Boulevard website. Tickets are £12. Like Tom said, they're selling out. It's going to be a busy show week. This is a bigger. I'm not going to say better, because Wyrd Sisters has got a special place in my heart, but it's a bigger show than Wyrd Sisters. It's more ambitious. It's a bigger cast. It's a big, sprawling story with some amazing character points, lovely little set pieces. It's exciting. It's really funny. And honestly, the cast, I've seen you all in some great stuff, and I think some of this cast are putting in their best performances I've seen for this show. It really is something special. If you're a lover of Discworld and Terry Pratchett, you got to come. You know what you're getting, but we're going to do it differently. And if you're new to it, let us introduce you to Discworld, and you can fall in love with it too.
I love that. Gina, the invitation is there for us to go to the Discworld. Just thanks so much, all of you, for joining us, Gina.
It does sound incredible. And Terry Pratchett, I don't think we've seen the end of these shows coming to the Boulevard. I think there's going to be more.
We will see. To all of the cast and crew this weekend, break a leg, have a wonderful show run. And yeah, to those new and old coming to see Terry Pratchett, have a wonderful time and immerse yourself in that disc wheel. Thanks so much, guys.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Gina.
Thank you.
Thank
Cheers,
you.
guys.
Bye.
Your What's-Ons and your Traffic and Travel Link taxis up next, and your celebration. Still time to get yours in. 01437 76 4455. It's just gone 20 minutes past 8 o'clock.
Wake up with Gina and